What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Kingdom Hearts is truly done with the Disney worlds. Now, funny enough, we talked about this right after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, with just the way they handled the worlds, with where it seemingly, where it seemed basically that these games were going. Would they be done with Disney? For whatever reason, obviously there could be reasons that we could come up with. We know how important the Disney worlds have been to Kingdom Hearts for, basically 20 years, right? They're very, very important, and they've I think made a lot of I wouldn't call people normal, because I think that would be calling us not normal, although you could say that about Kingdom Hearts fans. But I think it gets a lot of casual people that maybe otherwise wouldn't get Kingdom Hearts, the ones that for the most part just have no idea what's going on with the story, but also don't care about what's going on with the story. Disney worlds, I think, are pretty linked to them. I don't think that's the biggest stretch in the world to say, but with how Melody of Memory ended, so that's kind of the discussion here. I want to talk about Verum Rex. I want to talk about where these games are going. Didn't really know how I wanted to title it, how I wanted to structure it, but then I came into this idea of talking about the Disney worlds, because like we talked about with the ending explained, we got the characters all splitting up once again, right? It's never been done before. This is the first time they've done it. And now every character, is separate again. And it's like, okay, where do they go from here? And I know I saw people, debating, Kingdom Hearts 4 versus maybe a game getting everybody back together, and then you do Kingdom Hearts 4. I can do those videos as well. I do want to ask you guys this. Leave in the comments below what kind of videos you want to see Kingdom Hearts related, and I'll definitely try to make some. I want to make consistent Kingdom Hearts videos over the next couple weeks, considering Melody of Memory is out. So leave it in the comments. Again, if you guys like this kind of stuff and you want to stay up to date with it, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And you could always support me on my other things. Twitter, I tend to kind of tweet out previews of videos I'm going to do. Discord and my second channel. All of that is in the description below if you guys want to check that out. So look, we have Mickey going in a non-Disney route. We have Sora and Riku now in a non-Disney route. And again, that's going more into the game world. That's more connected to possibly Square Enix titles at large, maybe not just even Final Fantasy, but going further down that road. You have Kairi training with Aqua. Now, that could be a way to introduce Disney worlds. I know I saw a lot of people in the comments saying, really, the only characters that are kind of like nailed into going into the Disney route. Well, okay. Well, firstly, you have Mickey. I mean, I know I just said, Mickey's going down a non-Disney route, going to track down basically the ancient Keyblade Masters, right? Now, he is Disney all on his own, so you're never going to fully abandon the Disney license, but I guess we're talking about the Disney worlds here. But you have Donald and Goofy. Those are the two characters I think people have kind of focused in on, okay, they all have their tasks. They all have what they're going to be doing, assumingly in the next game. Donald and Goofy's task is seemingly an easy one. It's basically go to the worlds with our allies that we're looking for Sora. Now, I don't know what they're doing. Are they checking, like, underneath rocks? Are they knocking on doors, like, seeing if Sora, like, got lost somewhere? I mean, I assume that's what they are doing. But go to those worlds and, start to tell people. Now, I get it. They said, like, Traverse Town, stuff like that. So, they're, it's going to be connected to characters that we are very, very aware of. It could be connected to, like, the Roxas gang, all that stuff. Go to those worlds and tell them to stop, focusing on trying to get Sora back, right? Because we have a plan in place. We have other people doing that now. That's really the only people right now, Donald and Goofy, that are going into anywhere close to Disney territory, right? Now, again, you could have Roxas, you could have the Birth by Sleep team that they could be going in a Disney route. But the question is, going forward, what's the plan? Well, they set it up pretty, I would say, straightforward at the end of Melody of Memory, when they were talking about, they're not in this world. They're not in the, they're not in the realm of darkness, Source, any of these places. And basically what they were saying is, okay, and I saw somebody comment this too. We're done with dreams. So we're done with like a dream drop distance. We're done with coding. So like recoded. We're done with like those branches or sections of, I don't know, like locations of Kingdom Hearts. That's pretty much what they were saying, when Kairi and Riku were talking, after Kairi woke up. That's what they were pretty much saying, that, we're done with that. The only place that's yet to be discovered. Now, that's not to say they couldn't go back, and I think that's maybe, people that want to be a Debbie Downer and immediately just ruin this video or cut it short. They would say, all right, well, yeah, and I honestly, I'd probably agree with this, because you're not, I would say, going to get rid of Disney worlds. You lose, I would say, too much of the value, again, that it provides to just normal people. Again, I really don't like saying that because I know people may take that the wrong way. But you know what I mean? The Disney Worlds have so much value to the base of Kingdom Hearts. Obviously, us diehards, we're in it for the story. We're here playing rhythm games or watching rhythm games. Or we're doing stupid mobile games just to get like, you know, backstories and stuff like that because they help the overall plot. That's what we're in it for. But let me tell you, factually, the large majority of people that are buying these games are not doing it for that reason. Okay, now maybe Melody of Memory, maybe Remind, maybe, you know, Union Cross and Darkra and stuff like that. You know, those people that are majority getting that, they're getting it for the story. But the people that bought Kingdom Hearts 3, the vast majority bought it because it was the third mainline installment into Kingdom Hearts. And that is why, just point blank, they will never get rid fully of Disney Worlds because they're just flat out too important to the brand. Now, does that mean you can't do fictional worlds? No, because in fact, again, they say it, that's the only place we haven't looked. It's really the only place that Sora could possibly be in, and they're right. Now, why did he go there? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I'm sure people have maybe put it together, and you guys could do it in the comments, but why is Sora there beats me. But, you know, that is, I would say, the trajectory going forward, at least in the short term. Now, that's where it goes into, you know, do you do a Kingdom Hearts 4? I saw a lot of people say, do you do a Kingdom Hearts subtitle, you know, whatever that is, which, you know, like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts, actually all of them are, you know, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, stuff like that. Technically, you know, Kingdom Hearts is always there in some way. Do you do one more, or I guess one in general, within the next couple of years, and that is the one where, like I said in the ending explained, you get to play as like everybody. Everybody's doing their own thing. It's just it's like basically a season of a television show where there's jumping around characters. You're doing that, but the goal is to get everybody back together, and then that is where Kingdom Hearts 4 would start. Okay, is that the plan? I would say that sounds about right? Because the next game, whatever the next game is, unless they do what I said, you do a Dream Drop Distance 2 for some reason. Because again, technically they said Riku is using the power of waking to do the Sora stuff. So it does fall in the Dream Drop Distance, I don't know, blanket. So could you call it that? If you're training with Aqua, I mean, I know like a character doesn't make the game, but if you're training with Aqua, you're gonna have the rest of them. So, you know, that's a Birth by Sleep kind of thing. You know what I mean? Now again, they don't have to be called that. The Mickey one is confusing, right? But we talked about that. They could just include him in some mobile games to kind of figure out what the heck is going on there. I don't see them making an entire game playing as Mickey, but that does add credit to your guys' suggestions, or the suggestions in all, where it's like, okay, we'll just do a game where you get to play as, you know, as all of them and get them back together. But obviously, Verum Rex and going into a fictional world, going into a video game world in their world is the way to go, is the way they're going for now. And I would assume that when we get to Kingdom Hearts 4, when we get to the future, however long this thing goes, however long this train ride lasts, right? I would assume that it's not necessarily like a 50-50 split, but I think it's a lot. I think they just tone down a little bit, at the very least, a little bit of the Disney worlds, right? At the end of the day, well, you know, there's always Disney worlds to pick. There's Disney worlds, and we actually talked about it, like Disney worlds that maybe they didn't use that they could use. There's worlds that they have dropped before and they never came back to, right? Some of them, though, have run out of things, right? So they did like Frozen. I guess they could do Frozen 2 because they did Frozen 1. They did Pirates 3, so I guess you could do Pirates 4 or 5. Like, they could keep going, and they are in a nice little structure where, again, they could use worlds they've already used. They could use worlds that they haven't used yet. They could use worlds that they used in the first game, but not the second game or not the third game, or first and second game and they didn't use in the third game. I mean, they have, and obviously there's other games that they've kind of shuffled through things as well, right? They have a lot of options, but I think that this is an ambitious move. This is not a move I would say is going 100% because I really, you know, Nomura, obviously, I feel like runs the show there, okay? But at the end of the day, I think either him or the highest of the higher-ups at Square Enix knows, okay, go very meta with, you know, versus 13. You can do that. You can stab us in the back. We know we took you off that game, all that stuff. Do whatever you want. But don't completely, you can't because we pay this money for these licenses. You can't just abandon Disney because your game will lose like market value from doing that. I feel like that's about as easy to say as humanly possible. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Where do you think the path of Kingdom Hearts is heading? Do you think it's more video game worlds? Do you think it's maybe half and half? Do you think they still do like fully Disney worlds? Let me know. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15. I have a Discord server, and my second channel's name is Podcast Now Plus. All three of those things are in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. More Kingdom Hearts videos coming very, very soon, and I hope to see you all there.